Hey, how y'all doing? Oh my gosh, it's been a long time. It's been a rough summer, and I'm sorry for such a long break, but I injured my knee really bad in the summertime during summer break, and I was laid up in bed for 2 weeks. Couldn't move. The whole leg was just couldn't move. Let me tell you, showering and of course using the restroom was very difficult. It was awful, and so don't wish that pain upon anybody. So I've been laid up for a long time. I'm still trying to get over it. It's not perfect. It's still swollen. I don't know what happened. Somebody said water in the knee. I don't know about that. I don't know what it is exactly. But I'm back, and I'm on a new phone. I got myself a new phone. I still have my handy dandy iPhone 13 right here. But I actually went out and got myself my first Android phone, and it's because finally there's a phone out there that to me was appealing enough to switch over to Android. I've never used an Android. This is my first Android device. Oops, somebody's coming. Hang on. Hey, I'm back. This is gonna be difficult because this time of day everybody's out walking their dogs, going home and stuff like that. So it's gonna be hard for me. So anyways, yeah, this is my first Android phone, and it's been quite good to do it. Finally, I think Android software as well, the OS, has gotten pretty decent. I think iOS is still superior, but I think Android's catching up really well on the OS side as well. But the hardware, can't beat the hardware. If you're curious what I got a Samsung Z Fold 7. Some of you guys might have heard of that by now. It's a brand new model. It's a folding phone, obviously, and just top of line. It's the flagship, basically. It's just premium. It's got a 200 megapixel main sensor that can, it can shoot in 8K at 30 frames per second or 4K at 60, HDR. It's just pretty insane, all the stuff it can do. Besides the displays, it's got the same displays as the the iPhone Pro, whatever it is, that 16 Pro Max. Same display, OLED. I think they can go. I've watched some review videos and I've heard two different things. So one guy said 1,300 nits, up to 1,300, but then I think the guy at the store when I bought the phone, he said it can go up to 2,600 nits, some kind of ridiculous high nits, or 1,600. I can't remember. It was ridiculous amount of nits, the brightness, and displays are really bright. You can use either tablet mode or regular mode. They're same displays basically, and you can use it outside, no problem. We've been having incredibly hot summer. Today was another day we got almost to 40 degrees centigrade. It's just insane. We were 38, almost 39, 38 point something. So it's been every day super hot, and then the thunderstorms come in the evening. It's beautiful. I love it. So it's been a great summer, but I've been laid up. I didn't get to do anything. I'm really bummed about that. I was going to do some trips and stuff in the Tesla, but that's fine. Fall. We'll do it in the fall. So I got a lot to talk about Tesla, maybe about this phone if you're interested, and well, this isn't a live stream, so it's not a live stream. So whether you like it or not, I'll talk a little more about the phone, and then yeah, I got a lot to talk about, and let's get to it. I'm not sure which camera am I using. This one? Or am I using the middle one? Or am I using this one? I think it's this one. I think it's the main camera. Not sure though. I should have opened this up and used what's cool about this folding phone, I can open it up and I can have the back display as a preview monitor, but if I use that, I won't be looking at the camera. I know I won't. I'll be looking at the display the whole time. So I have it closed. So there's a lot to talk about. It's been so long, I don't know where to start. I want to keep this video short though, because I know a lot of people out there don't have attention spans as long as I do. But man, honestly, I feel like Elon has been just out of control with the lies and the stories and the storytelling stuff. Honestly, one thing I want to talk about, and I didn't get a chance to when it first happened, was the cybercab, the cyber taxi event, when they opened it up in Texas. Wow. Talk about bad optics as far as I'm concerned. I know all the fanboys are like, oh, that was great, it was so cool, it's groundbreaking, blah, blah, blah. It really wasn't. It didn't help their stock at all. In fact, I think the stock went down. it was really bad optics. You have a stranger in the car that just acts weird, like pretend I'm not here kind of thing, in the car the whole time with their finger on a button so they can hit the brakes because they don't trust the system to drive itself. There's the button for your door handle to open it. That's the emergency stop button. I'm sure of it. When they're doing the cyber cab. Jesus, a lot of people. Hang on. Okay, it's the middle one. I found out it's the middle camera. Hey. So yeah. Anyways, oh my gosh, it's crazy here. Busy, busy, busy. I'm gonna go this way. Just gonna start walking this way. So yeah, the cyber. Do you guys remember? I don't know if anybody cared back then, but back in November when they did the cyber cab event in Hollywood, they showed these cyber cabs, the actual cyber cabs, and they had some Model Ys. And they have some Model Ys. But it was, you know, they were showing how it was going to be, and Elon was talking about how he was going to have it introduced in a few months. It's going to be great and everything. And it wasn't anything like what he promised, and that's so typical. He always makes a big deal, boosts the stock up, and then when the real thing happens, it's not even close to what he was talking about. Like our image and his image, totally different. Or what the reality is totally different from what he was saying. So the car, it was strictly invite only, and it was only like maybe a handful of YouTubers that got to go. It was a joke. The geofencing was incredibly small. It was like it was at the most a 15-minute drive. It was ridiculous. It just wasn't, the optics were so bad. As a matter of fact, it's hilarious that his own shareholders, the shareholders for Tesla, are suing. They're doing a lawsuit against Tesla or against Elon because they're sick of him doing this stuff. It affects the stock because the stock is very volatile when he does stuff like that. He boosts it up for like maybe a few days and it just drops like a rock when people figure out he was lying again, you know? And I'm just getting tired of it, you know? And I know a lot of people didn't like the fact when he was helping with the Doge thing and they thought he was a Nazi and everything, but stupid. That was one time I thought he was doing a good job because he was actually cutting fat from the government. No, they don't usually do that. Governments don't get smaller ever. They only grow. That is how a government is. That's just the life and times of real reality in government. Governments don't shrink. They don't shrink their budgets. Nothing gets smaller. It only gets bigger. And so Elon and Trump were working. Well, it wasn't just Elon. It was like there was that Indian guy. Anyways, there were people in Doge working on cutting the fat, and they did cut a lot of crap. They did a lot of good, I think. I didn't get mad. I thought that was good stuff they did. Even though my sister she worked for the federal government, she kept getting those. She had to send a progress report, like some kind of progress report every week, and let them know that what she's doing and stuff. So otherwise she might get fired and stuff like that. I thought that was clever. I thought it was really good because there is so much pork and so much like just scams going on in the government, inside the government, that there are probably people getting paid for not working at all. So it was a great way to see who's working, who's not working, get rid of the people who aren't working. So I had no problem with that. It didn't bother me a bit. He's only helping America's taxpayers a lot on that. However, Trump didn't keep his end of the bargain, and no surprise there either. I'm not a Trump fan. I think he's hilarious, but not a big Trump fan. But he has done some good so far, pretty good. And what's going on with Putin, who knows? Maybe we'll get peace. Who knows? But anyways, Trump didn't. His budget thing was ridiculously expensive, and it was cutting the EV tax credits, which I like. I like them cutting it. If you can't make a car that's decent and affordable and within range and without the government's help, then you shouldn't be making it. Sorry, that's how I feel. The Japanese government did the same thing with the Japanese cars over here. They lost their tax credits a long time ago, and lo and behold, the manufacturers started lowering the price of the cars because they weren't selling anymore, so they lowered the price. It's amazing. They were able to do that and still make a profit. It's just obvious what they're doing. The manufacturers like Tesla, BYD, any of them, when you get tax credits from the government, that they just jack the prices up on the cars. Like, yeah. And they tell you, oh, you're going to save. You're going to get this much money back. Come on. Let's just get rid of that crap. That's BS. So I do like that part. But also, Trump's budget got ridiculously huge. It's just, what, some $1 trillion? It's just ridiculous. And so, typical. Just more spending. And so Musk got mad at him about the EV cuts and also the ridiculously huge budget. And honestly, I'm glad about the EV cuts. I think that's only fair. If you're making a good product, people will buy it. They will, as long as it's not ridiculously priced. It's true. It works over here. I mean, when the Japanese government about a few years ago they just cut the tax credits down to almost nothing on all the cars, electric cars over here. It affected them for I don't know, 3 or 4 months, and then all of a sudden, lo and behold, Nissan and Mitsubishi started lowering the prices of their cars lowering down the amount that you were getting on the tax credit. So they were able to lower it down to $7,500, whatever it was we used to get over here for buying a car. You get the money back from the government. They lowered it down $7,500 on the cars, and so people started buying again, and they're selling really well. Nissan Leafs are just all over the place over here. So are the Sakuras, and the electric Delicas are very popular over here. And so the really popular one is that plug-in hybrid Mitsubishi. What the hell? I don't remember the name, but that one's super popular over here. And that thing's selling like hotcakes. And yeah, so it just proves, the tax credit was just another way for the corporations to be greedy. And so it's a good thing that Trump's taking that away. The bad thing is his budget is over. It's just huge. And so Musk and him were getting fights about that. Musk should keep his mouth shut. Musk threatened to make a new party and stuff. I mean, the party, we don't really have two parties. I figured that out. I used to consider myself a conservative, and I was always on the right hand side, right, and there's the left and right. But the more I've matured over the years and stuff, I'm in my 50s now. Man, I'm old. I freaking am old. When I started the channel, I was a lot younger. I'm so old now, and but I'm more wise, I guess, more mature, and nothing changes. Doesn't matter which party's in. So, as a matter of fact, a lot of the social programs and stuff that supposedly the conservatives don't like, it goes in quicker with a conservative president when he's president. It moves faster. Not much, because the conservatives are like, yay, we got the conservative president, we're gonna back on anything. And then the conservative president's doing something social, kind of a socialist kind of thing, or not so conservative kind of thing, and the Democrats are like, yeah, we'll go for it. So it usually goes through much quicker. Hard truth, but it's true. It is what it is, And so I just realized it's two wings of the same bird. And then then Musk says, I'm going to make a third wing. It's like, Japan has so many different parties, but they're all basically the same. It's hilarious. Then you got the Democrat Party, Liberal Democrat Party, the Liberal Communist Party, the Communist Noble Party. I mean, it's just Socialist Democrat Party. Just ridiculous, all the parties. And they're basically the same thing. We just had a big election recently, and it was a big upset over here because Japan is starting to do what France and Germany and UK did, and they started bringing all these immigrants. And as a matter of fact, in Kawaguchi, it's almost unrecognizable because they have so many Kurds that they're waiting to be. They're not even. They haven't even been improved to be. Oh man, my brain's not working today. Sorry. Refugee. They're trying to get refugee status. Some kind of refugee visa. They haven't even approved for that, but they're all holed up over in Kawaguchi, and the violence is a skyrocket. Japanese are up in arms about the Kurds, the way they're acting. Crime rates going up in the foreigners, because we also have tons of Africans being shipped in. They just had a big summit, and they decided 4 major cities in Japan are going to get thousands of Africans from different parts of Africa. You got Rwanda, Nigeria, like all these different areas of Africa, and one of the cities is kind of close to us. It's called Kisarazu, and it's near the Tokyo Bay, and it's a beautiful area. And now they're going to be shipping in thousands and thousands of Nigerians into that area, and the people don't get a choice in it. They don't get a say in this. And Japanese have never been open to foreigners. They don't like it. I've never been treated well over here. I've been over here for 29 years almost, and they have never ever been very friendly to the foreigners. They don't care for us too much. And I don't have a problem with that at all. I think that's right. I believe there is a little, people call it racist or racism, and it's like, that word was invented back during when there was a general in the army that was dealing with Native Americans, and they were dealing with a group of Native Americans. They're trying to get them to work with the U.S. government on certain things, and the Native Americans are like, we don't want anything to do with you guys. We want to stay with our group. We don't want to mix, coexist. And that's where the racist term came. The racist meaning they just prefer their own race. That's what it means. To say racist just means you prefer your own race, you prefer your own kind, your own people, your own group. That's all it really means. I know it sounds terrible me saying that, but the original meaning of it was just they preferred their own group. They didn't want to mix and mingle with others, and that's how Japanese are. And I have no problem with that. I don't. I respect that. I do respect it. I think a lot of these countries are out of control because they have not been strong enough about being with their own group. Some countries have, and they're doing pretty well. Other countries have not, like France and Germany and stuff, and it's a mess now. America too, it's kind of a mess. Now, we've never had our own real kind in America. We've always been a mix, so I like that too. America, if you want to have all these different mixed races moving around, America's a good country for it. It was the way the Constitution was made up, and with the Bill of Rights and stuff, it's a great place for mixed races to coexist. Other countries, not so much, and Japan's one of those countries. I don't have a problem with them being like that. Having said that, they're hurting financially, and I don't know why, but the IMF, International Monetary Federation, or whatever it's called, the IMF is somehow telling Japan what to do about it. So Japan's got this aging population. They have a terrible birth rate to the point where their race is gonna go extinct in probably 100 years, maybe less, because they're like 1.1 kids per family. That's not gonna do anything. You're gonna cut your race in half in just one generation, and in the second generation you cut that in half. So within 100 years, there's not going to be much pure blood Japanese left. That's just them doing it themselves. They don't want to have kids, and I don't know why. I keep telling everyone I know in the community, anybody who's young, is like, keep making babies, keep going, guys. You gotta. It's what you have to do. You can't expect the government to do everything for you. The best way you can help the government is make more kids. Czechoslovakia figured that out. Czechoslovakia was brilliant. Back in the 90s, they realized they were going extinct, and they didn't want to bring foreigners in to make up the labor that they lost from their aging population. So I think it was like in the early 2000s or somewhere in the early aughts, they decided to make this new program where if a woman had three children or more, I think 3 or more children, the woman's side of the family wouldn't have to pay any income tax. So if you had 2 people working, the wife and the husband working, the wife would, after 3 kids or more, if she had 3 kids, for her life, no more income tax. And probably hurt Czechoslovakia at the beginning, but I think it's been over 20 years. They've now got all these kids that these women birth to get out of paying income tax. And all these kids are now getting into, it has to be 3 or more, right, per family, right, or per woman. So with that going on, now they're like 24, 23 years old. They're all getting into the workforce probably, and that's a lot of revenue that Czechoslovakia is going to kick up, start getting starting pretty soon. So that was really clever. So they don't have a problem, but Japan has a problem. They're not making enough babies. The older generation is dying off quickly because of measures that have been taken, because the government's broke and they can't afford them, so they've done all kinds of things to kind of, it's typical. It's like a lot of nations are doing that. Bill Gates won an award for helping that stuff out. So You know, they're trying to do population control with the elderly, and unfortunately, with that, when they're doing that stuff, they're losing more labor too, and the young people, there's not as many young people for all the labor that they need done over here, and so they're shipping in foreigners, and a lot of these foreigners, they have no intention to, you know, to blend in. They don't want to learn the language. They don't want to learn the culture. They have no intention of doing that. They just want to make some money because they're from a poor nation in Japan. And Japan ain't doing great. We're not financially great. We only make 2/3 what you guys make in America for a yearly salary. Our minimum wage over here is ridiculously low compared to America. So actually, that's why a lot of things are still manufactured over here. The labor is much cheaper than America. I would say it's probably closer to Mexico's labor rates, probably. I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't know what Mexico is, but it's cheap labor over here. Half into it, the battery degradation on my Tesla is at 1.8% degradation. That's it in a year and a half's time. So the battery is just great. I get extremely good range when I charge to 100%, which is no problem with that LFP battery. I can charge to 100% and not worry about battery degradation from that. And so when I charge to 100%, I can go about 600 kilometers over here, and so it's doing great. So yeah. Okay, I'm back. And can I just say that this camera is doing great. I just checked over the video I just did, that long talk I did in the park. The picture quality is insane on this camera. I'm loving this phone. This phone's great. I think I'll talk about the phone now a little bit. So this phone I got just a few days ago, and it has just been amazing. It's my first Android device. My very first smartphone was a 3GS, Apple 3GS. And the iPhones, I've just been iPhone all my life until now. Finally, Samsung's made something that isn't crap. I mean, I think they've been making good stuff for a long time, but I mean, really stand out. Like, the quality is like basically the same as the Pro Max or the Pro iPhones. And I've never been able to afford a Pro iPhone. The Pro iPhones are actually still more expensive than this. Everybody complains about the price of this phone in America. It's like $2,000, I think, in America, $2,200. I don't know what it is. It's $2,000 in America, I think, for this phone. And over here, usually exchange rate is worse, but Samsung's giving us a better deal. So I paid $2,600 for this phone. Well, if I were to buy like a 17, let's just say 16, iPhone 16 Pro Max, that is their flagship phone, and that's $100 more than this, and it doesn't open. You know, it's a great phone. Don't get me wrong. I love that iPhone. I've never been able to afford that, and I probably shouldn't have bought this. But what's cool about when you buy Samsung, which you don't get with Apple phones, is they give you incentives to buy the phone. I got almost $1,000 in cash back, basically. We had to use it right away. So my wife was so excited when I told her, oh, we got $600 in shopping credits, but they want you to go shopping now. Go have fun. And she got to go in the store, and the store luckily had everything you can think of. And so she went around and she bought all kinds of stuff. She bought a Dyson hair dryer. We bought a security camera that's made for pets, so it'll track pets. And so we have a nice pet camera for the dog, because we all work, and so the dogs stay home. So we have a pin for the dog, so now we can watch and check on the dog and make sure it's okay and stuff. Especially in the hot summertime, we'll make sure it's cool enough and stuff. So that's nice. We got that, plus a whole bunch of other stuff. I got all kinds of stuff. I bought my daughter one of those big thermos drink holders. I don't get the popularity with those things, but she wanted one really bad, so I got her one of those, and just bought all kinds of stuff, memory cards, and high-speed memory cards, because the pet camera shoots in 4K. So yeah, it was just cool. And then I have cash. I have a digital wallet on this phone, and I got it was kind of a contest, so I could get up to $500, or 50,000 yen. Get up to 50,000 yen. But there's 3 levels, so 120,000 yen, right? 120. Ichiman Nissen. No, I'm sorry. 12,000 yen. Ichiman Nissen. 12,000 yen. 30,000 yen, which would be 300, equivalent to like 300 Japanese dollars. And the best one, the top one is 50,000, equivalent to like 500 Japanese dollars. If Japan had a dollar unit, it would be like that. So I got the 1,200, but Ichiman Nissen, so not bad. Ichiman Nissen, that's 12,000, 12,000 yen. And so we're going to use that on our trip to Okinawa this October. We're going. So that'll be fun. Extra cash in our pockets. So, I what was it? A little over $600. I got a little over $600. My neighbor's watching me make a video. So I got a little over $600 back for buying this phone. So it is pretty cheap. I think I got a good deal on the phone. And I'm just really enjoying it. The camera's crazy. Okay, so let's get off the cameras. Because the cameras, you can talk forever. I mean, I'm using pro mode right now. It's just like, I wish Apple had that, like what this camera has. I don't have to buy a third-party app. It has a pro mode. I can adjust everything: the ISO, the speed, the f-stop. Everything is adjustable. These cameras are incredible. It's really good. All kinds of different kind of shooting modes as well. Let's see what else. It has. It's a flagship, so it's just loaded. It has I have MagSafe case, so now it's MagSafe. It has wireless charging, but it can charge. You can charge devices off of it. If the battery's charged up enough, you can charge other phones, or you can charge like your earbuds and stuff. Just put it on top of the phone, it'll charge them up. So it can do both. It can charge and it can be charged. It has the charging speed seems like fine to me. You can charge to 100%, I think, in an hour and 20 minutes, I think they say, or something like that, which is fine. I keep it at 80%. I don't charge over 80%. So that's kind of moot point for me anyways. So some people complain about the charging. They wish it was faster, but it's a very small, thin battery. This phone is awesome. One of the biggest things I like about it, it's not a gimmick anymore. The folding phones are finally getting to the point they're not gimmicks, and this is like the first real gosh awful, it's just crazy good foldable phone. When it's closed, it's just as thin as my iPhone 13. It's so thin, and it has a really nice big display, OLED display in the front. Same kind of display as a iPhone Pro has, OLED and high nits and super contrasting, good color. And so it's just I use the phone folded most of the time. Right now it's folded right now. But if you open it up, you have this gigantic display, an 8-inch display that's edge to edge. There's hardly any, there's like nothing like this on it. When you open it up, I'll show you some. I'll put some B footage, what do they call it? Stock footage, whatever. I'll put some up right now while I'm talking. The screen is just brilliant, beautiful, and huge when you open it up. And Samsung has a feature where if you want to plug into a dock, and that all your hard drive, your monitor, your keyboard, your mouse, and your camera and speakers are all hooked up to that dock. You plug it in, and it becomes a desktop. The phone will become a desktop, and it works pretty good. It's got a really good premium. It's got the top of the line Snapdragon 8-core premium chip in it. It's crazy fast, very powerful chip. This one has 12 gigs of RAM. If you buy the terabyte model, it'll have 16 gigs of RAM on it. It's just really good specs on it. But yeah, you open it up, it's just edge to edge. Beautiful, big, bright OLED display. Playing games on it with that full screen games like that, it's just insane quality. It's really cool. Looks really good. You can do all kinds of different ways of multitasking with it, and it's incredible. Once again, you got an 8-inch display, so you can really actually do multitasking on it. Really quite good. It's just loaded. It's like loaded with features that iPhones don't have yet. They're coming. Some of those features that I'm talking about, actually, iPhone will be getting on the iOS 26. But right now, Android's ahead of it on some of the stuff. But yeah, it's just it's so thin. When you open it up, it's so thin, and it feels so fragile. I put a case on it, and I kind of hate the case. The case is nice; it gives you good grip, but it thickens the phone up quite a bit to me. It's a nice case, and they try to make it so it stays thin, but it's still. It made it thicker. It's really, you guys gotta check it out. Just check this phone out. You'll be so impressed. And then it has 2 different AIs, like I told you before, and so productivity is through the roof on this thing. I can do so many different things with this thing using the AIs. What do you call it? The desktop, the picture on the desktop. I made that with my, I scribbled a drawing with my finger, and then the AI took over and did that, and it's beautiful. I love it. My wife just loves that drawing I did. Just a doodle turned into that. It looks amazing. I love it. And so it looks really pop artsy and stuff. It's just all kinds of cool things like that you can do. It's very fast. The battery lasts quite well. I charged it to 80%, and I get most of the day on it. It's really good, lightweight. I mean, it's just the sky's the limit on this thing. Your imagination, and I love that kind of hardware, and especially like, you're taking a train, or I'll be flying over to Okinawa in October. You got that screen. You can open it up, have your earbuds in, and you can watch videos, or you can do work on it. I can do video editing on this thing. I'm not gonna do this particular video. I'm not gonna edit on this phone, this particular video, because I've got video from my other iPhone I want to splice in and stuff, and it's just easier to do on the computer. But probably in the future, a lot of my videos will just be made on this phone, and like that. It's gonna be crazy. So yeah, it's a really good phone. It's the Samsung Z Fold 7, and check it out. You will be impressed. So that's that. Let's see. Next thing. They have finally started, just yesterday, they started doing test drives for FSD. They're doing test runs. They have some kind of Tesla employee that sits in there, keeps his hands right next to the steering wheel. I think it looks stupid, but I guess they have to do it because of the laws. So he keeps his hands next to the steering wheel and lets the car drive to the area. I'm going to look for the video on that. So far, every country that's done that test, Australia, UK, France, Italy, all those countries, you can find their videos up and see how good the car does in pretty stressful areas. Oh boy, what do I step on it for? That'll do it. Now I gotta turn off the headlights. Okay. Now I just got the stupid seatbelt noise making. How do you turn that off? Guys, help me out here. Stupid car turned off on me while I was sitting in it. Just when I started talking about something interesting. Here we go. Maybe that worked. Oh, come on! Alright, I'll talk to you inside. I'm back. Now I'm in the house. And I have a different hat. So what was I talking about? The test drive. So they're finally testing FSD, so people are getting excited over here. Maybe we'll get FSD in a couple years. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not as optimistic as everybody else, but no. So let me see. Let me widen this view out a little bit. Can I do it? That's no. That's telephoto. Whoa. That's it. That's all I can do. This is as wide as it gets. Okay. So, anyways, yeah, I'm using the selfie thing, so I can see myself. So I have to be careful. I gotta look at this camera, right? This one? This one? Which one? This one? No, this one. Yeah. So I look at this camera. Okay. So I think that's pretty much it. I want to talk about, Musk is out of control with all this, exaggeration of everything. Like the latest one now is the stupid robot, that ridiculously stupid robot. It's so bad, that robot. The Optimus robot. He's gonna build $1 billion a year, guys. Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. $1 billion a year. There's only like 7 billion people in the world, maybe even less for all we know. And he's gonna build $1 billion a year. at $30,000. Also, that's another thing. At that cyber event, he said they were going to be $20,000 per unit if you want to buy one. And everyone's going to get it. He said everyone's going to buy one at $20,000. He's already raised it $10,000. In less, 6 months, 7 months, he raised it to $30,000. $30,000 now for a robot that no one's going to want. And he's going to build $1 billion a year, and he's saying he's going to make $30 trillion a year or something like that he thinks he's going to make. He's saying these numbers to get the shareholders excited, so it's going to boost the stock, and then it's going to go boop, back down. I don't know. People eventually are going to figure out his program, his system, and they're going to say enough is enough. I mean, most of the stuff he's ever promised and stuff, the Cybertruck's one of the biggest flaws. I pre-ordered the Cybertruck. I pre-ordered a Cybertruck, the rear-wheel drive model that had 250 miles of range. It was $39,000. It was a 6-passenger truck, and that's not even available yet. But what they came out with instead was much less range, much more expensive 5-passenger truck, right? So I canceled. They had like about a million pre-orders they claimed. What happened? I don't know what they sold. I don't think they sold, maybe around 10,000 they sold. That's not a million, guys. So, kind of a fail. Cybertruck's kind of a fail. And so, it's on the level of Apple's Vision Pro. I tried it out. I finally tried out the Apple Vision Pro, and I was really impressed. That thing's really cool. But over here, it's 600,000 yen. You can buy a motorcycle. I mean, it's crazy expensive. If Japan had a dollar unit, it would be $6,000 Japanese dollars. That's insane. And that's the lowest one. That's the cheapest one. Huh? No. And so, anyways, yeah. So, yeah, I think we talked about everything, and so I think I got caught up on most stuff. And I made a video a while back on how to do a dent repair, and it didn't work. The dent didn't get repaired, so I didn't put the video up. But if you guys are curious, if you want to see that, make a comment. Make a comment, say, hey, I want to see that video. It'd be interesting to see what you did. I almost damaged my paint. It was really stupid. The second one is there's a big festival coming up, summer festival coming up this Saturday with fireworks. I'm going to do a barbecue here. I spent a lot of money today buying barbecue goods and stuff. So if you want to see some video of that, maybe, I don't know if you're interested, but if you are, put something in the comments, and if I got something to put up, I'll put it up. Okay, guys? Thanks for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Oh, like, and subscribe if you want. But like the YouTube gods. I really need the likes to get my video out there. Okay, the algorithm, right? All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.